Kyle Richards says there's one topic that has completely taken over her family's evenings lately: her youngest daughter Portia Umansky's plans for life after high school. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star opened up about the shift during a recent chat with the B&B, where she gave a closer look at what the college search has been like inside her home. Kyle explained that almost every family meal turns into a brainstorming session. It feels like every night we're going over applications, essays, and which schools she should focus on, she shared. Everyone at the table has an opinion about where she ought to go. We're talking about different states, different programs, and of course, which locations would be easiest for us to visit. Even while she laughed about the flood of opinions from family members, Kyle acknowledged that the process comes with mixed emotions. She's proud of Portia for preparing for such a big step, but she's also preparing herself for the inevitable moment when her youngest leaves home. It's going to be tough when she actually goes, Kyle admitted. She feels unsure about the change, and her nerves make me feel a little on edge too. But I've gone through this with my other daughters, so I keep reminding myself that I can handle it again. Kyle Richards shares Portia's potential college direction. Kyle, mom to Farrah Brittany, Alexia Umansky, and Sophia Umansky, revealed earlier this year that Portia began touring colleges in spring 2025. The visit started well before the start of her senior year, giving her plenty of time to explore different options. During a September Amazon live stream, Kyle said Portia had expressed interest in studying sports management. Her daughter's involvement as a team assistant for both the boys' tennis and basketball teams sparked the idea. Kyle joked that Portia likes being the one who keeps everything organized, which made the major a natural fit. Which schools made Portia's shortlist? Kyle and Mauricio Umansky, though separated, have both been deeply involved in Portia's search. Together and individually, they've taken her across several states, especially Texas and Florida, to tour various campuses. This weekend, I took her to see some schools, and it felt surreal, Kyle told Extra earlier this year. We were in Austin, Dallas, and Fort Worth visiting TCU and other campuses. Then Mauricio took her to see the University of Miami. It's been a full family effort. Kyle said Portia connected with several places, especially in Texas. She really liked TCU and also Southern Methodist University, Kyle said. We're looking for a place where she can focus on her studies while still having a great experience. While Kyle's older daughters have grown into their roles in the family's real estate world, she doesn't expect Portia to continue that pattern. Kyle and Alexia have both shared that Portia has her own ideas about her future, and they think her interests are very cool and uniquely her own. Whatever path Portia chooses, Kyle is trying to savor this time, the last moments before another daughter spreads her wings. And even with the nerves, the excitement, and the endless dinner table debates, Kyle says she feels grateful to watch her youngest step into a brand new chapter. As the college search continued, Kyle Richards found herself reflecting on how quickly time had passed. Portia, once the little girl who ran around the rhobh set with oversized headphones and a shy smile, was now attending college fairs, comparing programs, and talking about internships. The shift felt surreal, and Kyle admitted that sometimes she'd catch herself staring at her daughter in disbelief. It's like I blinked, and suddenly she was grown, Kyle said during one of her recent appearances. You think you're prepared because you've done this before, but each child is different. Each goodbye is different. A new rhythm in the Richards-Umansky household. With Portia's senior year underway, the rhythm of the house had changed. The once casual dinners turned into mini strategy meetings. Papers were spread out across the dining table. Brochures from universities, lists of deadlines, reminders scribbled on sticky notes. Even the family's group chat, once filled with memes and daily updates, had transformed into a stream of questions, links, and gentle reminders. Sofia and Alexia often jumped into the conversation with advice from their own college experiences. Farah, being the oldest and having taken on a leadership role at the agency, offered guidance about organization, independence, and navigating life away from home. But it was Portia who took it all in with a mix of excitement and nerves. She's always been very thoughtful, Kyle explained. She likes to gather all the information, weigh the possibilities, and then think about it again. It's sweet, but I can tell she's feeling the pressure. A mother balancing joy and sadness. Kyle had spoken openly about how watching her daughters leave home had shaped her over the years. She remembered the quiet moments after each of her older girls moved out, the stillness in the house, the unfamiliar routine, and the way she'd instinctively call their names only to remember they weren't there. It's a kind of silence you have to get used to, she said. I'm proud of them, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss having a full house. Now, as she prepared for the possibility of Portia heading to school out of state, Kyle found herself feeling that familiar ache. She knew Portia needed to explore, to chase opportunities that excited her. Still, part of her hoped her daughter would choose somewhere a little closer to home, a place where weekend visits wouldn't require long flights. Every parent understands this, Kyle said. You want your kids to soar, but you also want to hold on just a little bit longer. Portia's growing interests. Although sports management had become Portia's top interest, Kyle revealed that her daughter had been exploring the field from several angles. She'd been learning about everything from event operations to athlete representation, and even the marketing side of the industry. She has this sharp, focused way of thinking, Kyle said proudly. She likes being behind the scenes, making sure things run smoothly. It suits her. Alexia once joked that Portia would run a whole team one day if she wanted to, and Kyle didn't disagree. Watching her daughter step into leadership roles in high school had given her a glimpse of what might lie ahead. She's confident, but in a quiet way, Kyle explained. She doesn't need to be the loudest person in the room. She just knows how to take charge. College tours, the unexpected bonding moments. The campus visits themselves became some of the most meaningful moments of the year for Kyle. Whether it was sharing coffee during a break between tours, laughing over the unfamiliar cafeteria food, or navigating the winding walkways of sprawling Texas campuses, these trips gave them rare one-on-one time. We've always been close, Kyle said, but this experience brought us even closer. She described walking through sunny campuses, imagining where Portia might spend her afternoons, which buildings she'd study in, and where she might form lasting friendships. Kyle tried to soak it all in, the excitement in Portia's eyes, the sense of possibility in the air. At the same time, she admitted that every positive impression made her heart clench just a little tighter. It's like you're rooting for them to find the perfect place, she said, but you're also thinking, oh no, this might take her even farther away. Mauricio's role in the journey. Even as Kyle and Mauricio navigated changes in their own relationship, one thing had remained consistent: their support for their daughters. They coordinated schedules, shared updates, and compared notes from tours they took separately. This is something we both take seriously, Kyle said. We want Portia to feel supported by both of us, always. Mauricio, having toured universities in Florida with Portia, told friends that he was impressed by her maturity during the visits. He said she asked thoughtful questions, made careful observations, and took her time evaluating each program. Kyle appreciated seeing that side of their daughter through his eyes. It reminded her that, while this transition was emotional for her, it was equally meaningful for the entire family. Looking ahead to Portia's future. Even though the decision is still months away, Kyle understands that her daughter is stepping into one of the biggest chapters of her life. The excitement, the nerves, the dreaming, it's all part of growing up. My hope is that she chooses a place that feels right, Kyle said. A place where she feels inspired, safe, and excited to learn. As for the rest of the family, They're preparing for whatever comes next. Holiday breaks filled with updates about classes, group chats with late-night photos of dorm life, and the occasional FaceTime requests for help with laundry. Kyle knows she'll probably cry on move-in day. She also knows she'll be smiling through the tears. "She's ready," Kyle said softly. "And even if it breaks my heart a little, I'm ready to watch her shine."